And so from the faith-based prison, I got back to being who I was, because I'm a giver by nature. So once that got back, I was there, then I worked outside. I continued to host church services. At that church, at that institution, when I got sent to work release over in St. Petersburg, we worked and we were able to go outside and, get signed out. So I had different ones that would come sign me out so I can attend church. So that's how, whatever it was, when I went back to Lowell Correctional Institution in Ocala, when I went to that chaplain service that particular night, whoever God allowed to minister to me that particular night, it resonated within my soul, because I was already anchored in God. So I knew the way. I just had gotten so angry because of where I was.
Wow.
And even in that anger, I would still be telling people about God.
You were telling people about God, but there was something that hadn't broke free for you.
It wasn't break. I was telling people they should go to church, to the chapel service, but I wasn't even going.
Wow. Man, that is... Tina, you got me over here. I'm telling you, I'm almost in tears, because I am just listening to you, and I'm hearing in your story, and I'm even hearing that even what the judge spoke over you, God made it out to be a lie. Because she said you wouldn't see your children for another 5 years, and here it is. You just said that your daughter came in, and you got that kind of favor for your child to come in and be a part of a program. Wow. So how old were you? How old were you when you first went to prison? I just want to give a reference here.
I was 29 when I went to prison.
Oh, wow. Young. Young. So fast forward. What does the day you're going home, what does that look like? Because obviously now you're jumping over buildings, but you're behind the wall, but you're doing some phenomenal things there, being handpicked. God's got favor on your life, but now it's time to go. What does that look like for you?
I think the biggest fear I had was my children. How to reacclimate myself into their lives. Because you got to remember, I left one when she was 9 and the other when she was 3 months.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So share a little bit of that process. They're much older now, but how long did it take for you to try to just reconnect?
Well, immediately I sought out therapists that did family reunification after trauma. And it took us, we went to counseling for a year, a little over a year maybe, and we reacclimated. Now let me back up, because I would be a liar if I didn't say my youngest daughter, her dad sued me while I was in court and took custody of her and wouldn't allow me to see her.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a lot of she completely separated from you during this whole season or time.
Yes.
So there was, so you had all kind of battles you had to encounter, and yet you chose to not roll over and die. You chose to live and not die.
And not die.
And not die. Ooh, I think I feel something. Take me to now you're out, and you have, I read this article and I got a chance to see someone, not just your community advocate, you're doing things across the world, but you have a boldness about you, and a reassurance that you are who God called you to be and told you to be, and no one can shift that. I just want to, just tap on that just for a hot second about your reassurance that you are who God called you to be. Because I think somebody said that they kind of tried to challenge your belief system and who you were.
I definitely can stand flat-footed with anybody. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that God loves me and that God has opened these doors for me. Nina, the rooms that I'm in, I have no degree. I'm a convict. I'm black, single mama, 2 different baby daddies. The stuff God has allowed me to do and the people that I sit at tables with, I know that's God. And every time I get to doubting myself, God always sends someone else. I'm gonna give you a little snippet. I had 3 daycares at one time, and a young lady used to work for me, and she told me one day she was sick and she wasn't gonna come back or whatever. Nina, she opened up a business right out the back door, took half of my children. I never wished her any harm. Nina, today, as I'm speaking to you, this young lady inboxed me through Facebook and said, "You are blessed. I am so happy to see what God is doing in your life."
Wow.
Now you tell me that's not God.
That's God. Oh, that's God. And in the humility of it, that God allowed you to walk through that and not be scathed by it, not be burned by it, not be angered by it, because He already got rid of that. Speaking of things that you are doing that are phenomenal, and I know it's hard to just kind of blow your own horn, so I'm just gonna blow it for you. You own a what? A laundromat?
Nina, I own a daycare.
A daycare
that has 78 children currently.
78 children?
Okay. Ages 6 weeks to 12 years old. Oh. I own a laundromat.
A laundromat?
I have 10 rental properties. I just built 3 duplexes in the neighborhood where I grew up.
3 duplexes in the neighborhood, 10 rental properties. You are changing lives. And how many villages you done? I mean, buying food and clothes and making sure, feeding people across the world. I almost want to ask you, what aren't you doing? Do you sleep at night?
My girlfriends think I don't, but I do.
Tell me, I can see maybe the children, in the daycare, but how did you get from being a daycare owner to owning a laundromat, to owning 10 properties and building duplexes and I saw in the Facebook post, you had to go into debt and, you got a mortgage on these things and believe in God. How did you do that? You mean to tell me that fear that this gated community might lock you out, that you'll have a small somewhere to go?
That's what did it.
Is that the scripture where they talk about, is that Gideon who God said, do it afraid?
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid. And from that one piece of property, I bought the property at $57,000. Remember what I told you I had in the bank, Nina?
Oh, yeah.
I only had 60. So I began to rehab this thing with running my credit cards up. When I finished the home, let me go back. I never missed a payment on the house I was staying in.
Come on, God.
God sustained me. I had did a mortgage forbearance, but never needed to use it. When the pandemic was over, the children were coming back. The property was there. I had renovated the property, made it into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The property appraised. I bought it for $57,000. It appraised for $245,000.
Oh, stop it.
I took the equity out of that property, and that's what started me to going. Fear. You understand what I'm saying? No knowledge, no realtor, no rich dad, poor dad class. Fear made me go buy that house.
Made you go buy that house and say you can do this. Oh my. I was going to ask you at the end, what do you want to tell the people? What you want them to be able to be left with? But I just want to, talk about, so how did you get from the property to the laundromat?
The community that I serve, Nina, with the child care center and the laundromat, First of all, it's monumental because that was a county where blacks were afraid to go for years. Eagle Lake, a little redneck county, but they didn't have that service.
Okay.
And so I knew they needed that service. So I spoke with the city officials there, and they gave me the go-ahead. They told me they would waive impact fees, and that's how we got to that laundromat.
And that's
And
how
all while me saying, Lord, I need to have me an additional income, because this is still fear pushing me, Nina.
Yeah.
Because if the daycare ever closes again, I need an income.
I need income. I need
I
something.
need an income. I need something else.
But now, and if I'm right, you did the laundromat, and then a year later, was it a year or a little bit more than a year later is when you did the other properties? You started doing more properties?
I started doing more.
Oh my. So you didn't even give it any time to cool off. You just jumped right on in. Oh wow.
I say, God, if you give me the strength to do it, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
And I went back to my community, a community that is definitely that's needed. You know, there's a lot of people in that community, Nina, don't even have central air and heat.
Yeah. Wow.
So I went back because I grew up in that community. I walked those same streets where I just built the duplexes. One of my girlfriends lived there. I went there every Sunday and ate fried chicken and pound cake her grandma cooked. So that community, that Florenceville area, and every property that I have 10 properties. I have 3 duplexes, 2 houses, and another 2-story. All of that is in that same community.
Oh wow. So you went back to give back to your own community too.
To my own community.
So that's why you say quality housing. You bring in quality housing because you knew what it was for, no air conditioning or being able to. Oh, wow. So tell me, how did you get international? I gotta know. How you got there?
So I am a member of the AME Church, African Methodist Episcopal Church, and my pastor. They were going over there. So I met a lady from Liberia, and she was a pastor. She's deceased. She died of lung issues after COVID, or during COVID. And so I told her that I was going to come and support her mission or partner with her. And she died, but me being who I am, I was committed to what I told her before she died. So I connected with her daughter, and I said, you don't know me. She said, no, but my mom don't talk about you a whole lot. I said, I want to honor what I told your mom I was going to do. And so I flew over there. We did school supplies. We did, we fed them. We went to a village and we fed. And so now I went back. I just got back in December. I did 17 days there, where I went in and that village is big on helping women get a trade so they don't have to go into sexual acts to get money. So that was the passion for me to help empower those women. So that's why I was able to do it. And so when I went back for December, we did Christmas over there. I was there for Christmas. So I shipped all kind of stuff from over here to there. And we had a big Christmas party, and I had it catered at a church. So that's just, I think that's my reasonable service to God, Nina, because what God has done for me, I don't think I do enough for Him.
Oh wow.
And so, because that's what my motivation is my thing is, I tell my parents at the daycare, I'm going to treat your children right. I said, but when I go to bed at night, I want to know, God, I've done everything that I could do to make the world better. And if it's just a little, that's it. If it's just a little bit of saying I love you as my children leave my facility, or if it's flying to Africa where they don't get chicken or meat but once or twice a year, that's nothing for me.
Wow.
God, if you allow me to do what I'm doing here, and I promised God that, when I left prison, I said, God, you kept me in my right mind. I'm never going to stop telling people my story and how you brought me over, because I want people to see Nina and all I've been through.
Oh yeah.
Lost a child. Nina, I don't have brain surgery. I got a big scar down the back of my head now, where I had a growth. Nina, none of that has stopped me.
Has stopped you from serving God. Oh,
to the best of my ability.
To the best of your ability, with everything, all that you have.
All that I have.
And you say that's a reasonable service.
A reasonable service.
So you went from going through being angry with God to Him showing you favor even in the midst of that, to Him turning you completely and just leading you through to fear to increase, because fear increased you, to abundance until you can't do enough. You could, whatever God says to do, that you'll do it.
I'll do it.
I am completely honored, and thank you so much for doing this interview. I just want you to, can you tell people how to get in contact with you? If somebody say, you know what, I want to glean from her. I think if she just speak my name and say, I can do it. How do they get in contact with you? Or how do they, how do they hear about their apartments, or get involved with the children, the daycare, whatever they want to do, the mission work, whatever is your next? Tell people how to get in contact with you.
They can always reach me. I give out my phone number like it's water, because whoever God sends in my way or my path, I believe that He wants them to be there. Because my prayer is, God, don't send anybody near me that's going to be a distraction. Anything that's going to hinder me from the kingdom. So they can call me 863-585-5291. You can email me kees.mom73@gmail.com. And I'm on Facebook as Tina Campbell, TinaCampbell.
Well, Miss Tina, it has been a complete honor to just do this interview. I'm so excited about writing your story. Thank you so much for being in Behind the Wall Chronicles. You are the epitome of what it speaks for, because people don't know the greatness. They think it just came up, and they don't realize that it had been brewing all along, that God has been stirring up the gift inside of you all along. And what they see is just simply an outpour and an outflow of it. So thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And we're done.
Thank you so much.